Three things cannot be hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the truth, said Lord Buddha. For unraveling the truth in the many scientific fields, let's salute the spirit of scientists whose revolutionary work has impacted human lives in a big way. But a truth cannot be created, only perceived, said the great spiritual guru Paramahansa Yogananda. Let's find from the scientists themselves for how they perceived the truth. A professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, Dr. Amit Agrawal works in the areas of microscale flows, theoretical fluid mechanics, turbulent flows, and development of novel biomicro devices. His primary contribution is in the development of a unique blood plasma separation micro device that is as small as the size of a coin. His work has appeared on the cover page of prestigious journals such as Journal of Fluid Mechanics and Physics of Fluids. He has won several awards, including the Department of Atomic Energy Outstanding Investigator Award and the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize for his work. Dr. Amit Agrawal, you are a mechanical engineer with IIT Mumbai, and you won several prizes, including the SS Bhatnagar Prize. And you've done astounding work in the development of micro devices. And one of them is for blood plasma separation. Can you briefly tell us about your work?
And so the blood plasma separation device is actually a very small device. Let me just go back a little bit and explain what is the idea. The thing is that once the person is sick and we go to a doctor, it's very common that the doctor prescribes a blood test. So the blood is drawn from the patient's body and a few ml of blood is drawn. And then the blood is centrifuged typically to separate out, because blood has cells as well as the plasma, which is the liquid part. The liquid part is where the information of the human body is. So the cells are discarded and then the plasma is what is used for further testing. So this is done in a centrifuge. But the thing is that you draw a lot of blood and you have to do this multiple processing. So instead of that, the idea is to have much smaller quantity of blood and to work with that. So for that, we need a micro device. The person need not go to the hospital. One of the important thing is that whatever things are happening in the lab right now should be done in that device. You have to somehow separate them out without using a lot of mechanical forces or energy. So that was essentially the invention.
How did you get onto that invention? Of course, there must have been a lot of prior work and maybe many years of investigation. But how did you get on to that? What was something like, the precipitating point?
So as you said, there is always a body of work that one can refer to, which we also did. We tried using them. So they had one or the other issues. Essentially, this idea came while we were actually discussing some of our experiments. And we were trying to do it very naively to begin with. And then we started exploring those lines, and it became a full-fledged device.
But I want to know from you, Dr. Agrawal, about that particular day when exactly that revelation struck, and if you can recall something which is really phenomenal and you would like a larger audience to know.
Yeah, so what we were doing is essentially discussing some of the experiments that the student had done. And initially, we were not getting too much success, and we were very worried about that. And of course, there was a long pause and a deep thoughts. And then suddenly, we don't know where the idea came. What was interesting is that I had never thought about anything like that. And I had not even read anything about it. And I asked the student, can we do something like this? Can we try our next experiment along this line? And it just turned out that was the turning point.
Okay, do you feel that inspiration that came to you had some element of race? Because you were not expecting.
I have no doubt that a lot of good things which happen in my life has happened because of divine grace. Of course, one can say that hard work, sincerity, perseverance, good work environment, all these are important. These are all contribute to how things will shape up. But ultimately, it's a God's grace that becomes very important.
So at that right time, which you said, when the truth strikes, do you think that your own consciousness has reached a higher level of awareness where it is able to catch the signals of the infinite consciousness which are already there?
Definitely, I believe in that. I mean, again, as I said, that there are so many examples that I have seen in my life where, again, people are working, trying things, and things are not happening, and just at the right time, and just because of some, again, divine intervention, takes you in a direction that we're not really pre-planned.
So for that divine inspiration to strike, the truth to come to you, you feel that there should be some kind of a mindset that a scientist must have, or any kind of mental attitudes that you think that yes, these really help in getting on to those moments of truth?
Yeah, so I would say that continuously thinking about a problem, continuously looking at it from various point of views can really help to bring in a different aspect. To me, it is like a squirrel trying to crack open a nut. And of course, just the first strike or the second strike does not open the nut. So our thought process is somewhat analogous to that. When we try to look at the problem in a different way, that's what breaks open the shell.
How do you feel that meditation can help or aid in one's scientific pursuits?
See, my meditation definitely helps to calm the mind. So you are left with more of positive thoughts. You are not really worried about small things. So that means that you have a lot more time for creative, positive energy.
So basically, you mean positive thinking, aligning one's thoughts. It really helps
Yes.
in bringing in that patience, to go on pursuing a problem. I wanted to also know about, raising one's magnetism to attract the truth which is already there. Because
Hmm.
the truth is not created, it has to be perceived.
So the way I look at it is that once somebody is thinking about a problem continuously, then the perception becomes so much more clearer. To me, it's like you're on a mountain and you get to the edge of the mountain. Before you getting to the edge and after getting to the edge, the perception is so different. I mean, once you come to the edge, you rather see a very different world out there. So essentially, you're training your mind to be able to look across the edge.
When the moments of truth strike, there is a voice of intuition, something which tells you that this is the right thing to do or this is the right direction to take. And this happens from within. Do you think that it happened with you?
Yes, once we start thinking about something, I mean, that is where the intuition comes in.
Albert Einstein also said that intuitive mind is a sacred gift. So, how would you describe intuition?
Again, intuition is something that helps you foresee things before they actually happen.
So, it is that which helps us realize those divine truths which seem to be hidden from us. Many scientists have had experiences of daydreaming and coming to certain scientific revelations. Did you have anything like that?
So I would not really recall anything like that happening with me. But I would still say that a lot of things that happened are by chance, in the sense that who I started working with, what sort of problems I started working with. A lot of these things were not pre-planned. And I can give some examples. There was a student who came, and being in a mechanical engineering department, somebody comes and said, I'm interested in like blood flow. So that changed my problem definition. I think that is all chance because we had not really pre-planned any of these.
Anything else you'd like to share with us, Dr. Agrawal? Something to inspire the youngsters as to, when you are in that mode of creativity, what kind of attitudes you should have so that the moments of inspiration come to you easily?
See, first of all, there is a lot of things where a lot of energy, a lot of fresh thinking, deep thinking is required. One should get engaged in them. And that's where positive change in the society, positive change in the environment will come about. So the contribution is going to be required from the younger generation to take up these problems and not just go for a small success. Just believe in yourself, be at it, keep working, keep trying.
Thank you very much, Dr. Agrawal. Thank you so much. Paramahansa Yogananda said, thoughts are universally and not individually rooted. A truth cannot be created but only perceived. The erroneous thoughts of man result from imperfections in his discernment. He said further, the goal of yoga science is to calm the mind, that without distortion it may mirror the divine vision in the universe.